Hi, everyone. It's Tina Brigley, and I am here with Kim Kenny. And I wanted to share this with you guys because her story inspired me so much. At her lowest point, she was in the hospital, literally on her deathbed. It took four people to move her. And in that moment, which was the lowest moment of her life, she had this realization something needs to change. And I wanted to share your story with her because she's helped hundreds of people stop overeating and take back control of their life. And it all came from that moment where she had no control in her life. So, Kim, thank you for being here with us.
Thank you. I'm so excited to talk to you.
So bring us back to that moment in the hospital if you can. And I know there's a lot of emotions attached to that, but what happened that brought you to the hospital and what was that experience like for you?
I had been overeating, stuffing my emotions for years and years, and my weight kept climbing, climbing, climbing. And at that point, I wasn't quite at my highest weight, but I was on disability. I couldn't work anymore because of all the health issues associated with being overweight, high blood pressure, diabetes, sleep apnea, fibromyalgia, high cholesterol, depression, anxiety, it, um, arthritis. Like it was nonstop. I was in pain all the time. And then one day I, I was really sick, went to the hospital. They said I had double pneumonia, sent me home with antibiotics. And 2 nights later, my husband came home from work and I was really struggling to breathe. And he said, something's not right. And I said, just give me till the morning. Let the antibiotics work. And he said, no, I think you need to go in now. And had I not gone in that night, they said by morning they would have had to intubate me. My oxygen levels were at 60%, which in the last couple years, I found out they put people on oxygen when their levels are below 90. A nurse said to me, how are you even living when it was at 60%?
Wow.
So they immediately, as soon as they took my oxygen levels, they took me into one of the rooms, hooked me up to BiPAP. I had fluid on my lungs, and I ended up in the ICU for 8 days.
Wow.
Um, and it was horrible. I was I couldn't move, partly because I couldn't breathe well, but also because I was so heavy. Um, they had to come and change my sheets for me because I had lost control of my bladder and my bowels. And if I would cough, they'd have to come and change the sheets. And then that would take four people to move me. Sorry.
No, that-
Four people to move me or to move the sheets so that they could change the bed. And every time I would have an accident, I'd just be in tears.
oh my God.
And yeah. And I didn't know at the time that I almost died. Everybody was coming to see me, my kids, my ex-husband came, and I was like, oh, this is so nice. Everybody's coming to see me. I
Mm,
had no idea how bad it really was.
wow. And I mean, that moment of the lowest of lows, do you remember the moment where you're like, okay, enough is enough? Like something needs to change. And what happened when you had that realization? Like, I can't stay here anymore.
Well, I came home and they had me on really high doses of prednisone. And then prednisone also causes weight gain. Um, they hooked me up with a dietitian. She wasn't all that great. She wasn't very helpful. She just basically said, yeah, eat healthy. Here, follow the magic plate. And like, like she didn't get to why I was eating.
Mm,
Um, and then being on the prednisone, my face, like pictures of me from before, my face is so round. One of my grandkids recently saw the picture and she said, what's wrong with your face? So then after going on the prednisone, then I gained more weight and my scales at home went up to 330 pounds and I was more than that.
mhm.
And I'm only 4'10". So, um, I was bigger around than I am tall.
Wow.
And I just I had a grandson on the way, and my other daughter had got married, and so I knew she would be having children, and I didn't wanna be the old grandma that sits in the rocking chair and can't do anything. I wanted to be the fun grandma, the one that can get down on the floor and play with the kids, and that can go babysit, and they're not afraid about something happening to me.
Right, right.
So that was the turning point. It was like, I don't want to have to depend on my family who's starting their own families. I don't wanna have to be a burden on them. I wanna be able to help them.
And isn't that so I mean, you and I are both certified health coaches, we've gone through the program, but I remember somebody saying to me, if you don't get underneath what's eating you, you will continue to eat. And I didn't really get that until I started seeing, I mean, there was so much emotion attached to food, and food had become like my friend, food probably became your friend. And just telling people, just eat healthy and watch your calories and do all of this. And you're like, okay, but that doesn't work for me. I can't just cut calories and diet. I need to know, how did I get here in the first place? And I think there's so
Yeah,
many people that are in that situation where they're doing something, it's a habit, it's a behavior, but they don't know, when did it actually start? When did I start using food as a comfort zone, as a friend? And um I know you told me before we got on here, you were searching for the answers. How long were you searching for, like, real help to get underneath what was causing you to overeat?
it was about, I'm gonna say, probably 2.5 years, and then one day I thought, "Maybe I'll look up how to become a dietitian or a nutritionist." And so I'm looking and thinking, there's no way anybody's going to come to me as a dietitian or a nutritionist because I'm obese. But then I found health coaching, and I thought, like, it sounded, from what they were explaining, it was actually going to help me get to why I was eating, because counting calories, eating healthy, that doesn't help at 10 o'clock at night when you've had a hard day and you feel like crap and your partner is bringing out the ice cream.
Right.
That that doesn't help. Like, I needed to know why, and it sounded like coaching was gonna help me with that. So I enrolled, and I think it was 8 months later, I got my certification, and things started changing even just by learning all that I had to learn in the certification. It was amazing.
And so I wanna always give people, like, nuggets. What were the 3 major learnings or lessons? You were at the lowest point of your life, you have grandkids on the way, you have a family, you're like, "I don't wanna be the old grandma that can't get off the floor." You enrolled to be a health coach, and what were the 3 things that you say really, like, changed how you saw food and your relationship with food, the 3 aha moments that just made a huge difference for you?
I would say the first thing is I didn't know that I had a relationship with food.
Great.
You know, like, honestly, I just thought I was an overeater and that was it. Um, but then I started realizing that I was eating food when I felt sad, when I felt angry. I ate food when I felt angry, almost like a, "I'll show you. Let me eat this food." I ate when I was happy, when I was overwhelmed, stressed out, when I didn't feel good. Food was always the thing that I went to. So that was the main thing, was actually understanding that I did have a relationship with food.
Mm, mhm,
I would say the one of the other things, honestly, was simplifying it.
mm,
I realized I didn't have to count calories. Like, when the dietitian originally showed me a plate and how to eat off of that plate, it didn't clue in as to how easy it was to do that. And basically, she said, half your plate is fruit and vegetables, a quarter of it is your carbs, and a quarter of it protein. And when I started understanding that more and how all of the food groups play a role in your nutrition and how you feel about yourself, about processed food, causing inflammation. Like I was suffering with fibromyalgia and I couldn't work.
Mm.
And when I started eating less processed food, less sugar, and just 80% of the time ate according to that magic plate, I started feeling better. My
Mm.
blood pressure was going down. I wasn't in pain all the time. My cholesterol went down. My diabetes was better. And it was like, the lid comes off the thing and the light comes out.
Right.
Yeah.
And then the third thing I know for me, I started noticing patterns of when I self-sabotage, when you're feeling really good and you're losing
Yes.
weight. I don't know if that was one of the lessons that you took away, but I know for me, I was like, "Oh my gosh, something more important always shows up more than myself." I didn't realize I was sabotaging when I felt really good.
It was interesting because the program that they gave us right around the 5-week mark was when they started talking about self-sabotage. And I see it with the people I've worked with. I saw it with myself every time, right around the 4, 5, 6 week mark. That's when you're ready to say, I can't do this anymore. And you throw in the towel. And so you're right. Like that was a big thing. And I didn't realize how much I sabotaged.
Mm,
And then it would be that, all right, you know what? I'm going to start fresh, but let's start fresh on Monday. Right now, I'm just going to eat everything in the house on Sunday, get all the junk food out of my house so that it's not there to tempt me. I would have an entire weekend binge. Monday would come and I'd go, oh, gee, I didn't get enough groceries. Oh, well, I'm a little tired right now. Oh, I forgot to take something out of the freezer, whatever it was. And so then another promise to start again the following Monday.
mhm,
And I was forever starting over on Monday,
right,
but
and
Monday never came.
I I know there's so many people that can resonate with that, like, there's only power in now, and you can start over right now. I was one of those Monday people too. Yeah, start again Monday. Now it's like, "Oh, no, I can start right now with this next meal. I can start right now." I love that, and I love that I know years ago we met, and and I remember you believing, like, what you said earlier in the interview. How can people take me seriously if I'm still overweight? But you ended up losing a tremendous amount of weight that gave a lot of
Yeah,
people real courage and hope that, man, if she can do that, I can do it too. At the beginning of your journey, how much, if you don't mind sharing with us, how much weight did you lose in the beginning?
90 pounds.
90 pounds. That's
And
so,
I'm going to be honest. When I got to, I just at the 90-pound mark, I went, that's almost 100. And I panicked and I sabotaged.
right,
Even though I knew what sabotage was, I got scared.
right.
So I had to do some more mindset work. I had to figure out what's causing me to feel like I can't go beyond that,
Mhm.
and dug a little deeper, and it was worth it.
Yeah. You know,
And I remember when you and I met, and you said, "Oh, let's just get on a call," just because we'd gone to the same place, and we were both from Canada. Um, and I shared with you at that point, I think I'd only lost maybe 30 or 40 pounds. And I said, who's going to listen to me? And you said, no, people are going to listen to you because you're walking the walk with them. You're going through it with them. And at that time, you were also health coaching. You were just about done, though. You said, I don't know if I can keep doing this. Um, and you had just finished doing a 30-day group challenge. And you said, join the group, look at the videos, see what you think. And
mhm.
honestly, it was from there where I went, this is what I want to do.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
Even though you didn't want to, I did.
I love that, and this is why these stories are so amazing, right? Because I believe intention plus action equals results, and our intention is our way of being, and you came in open, and then you're like, oh, if you can do this, I can do this too. And your clients are saying, whoa, if you can do this, I can do this too. And I do believe that this is the secret to, I mean, really making change in your life is knowing that you have people in your corner that can support you when you fall, when you feel like, I mean, last week I felt like, forget it. I'm throwing in the towel. I don't want to be an entrepreneur anymore. And I joke about that because the journey is real, whether it's your health or your relationship or your business. We all have these moments where we're like, forget it. It's too hard. And you and I both know, okay, that's just sabotage. Let's get underneath
Yeah.
the sabotage. And sometimes when you're feeling low, you need somebody to say, no, you're not throwing in the towel. Not yet. Get
Yeah.
back up. Come on. So tell us what you're doing now.
Now I am still coaching,
Amazing.
and I've taken when I first started, the main focus was losing weight. Losing weight without dieting. And that is how I've lost the weight that I've lost. Um but over the last couple of years, especially when I found myself sabotaging again, I knew that there was something else. And so now the focus is not so much on what to eat, when to eat, how to eat. It's about why am I overeating? What are the root causes of it? Why is it when I've had a really crappy day, do I want to go to the fridge and binge? Why is it that I want to eat an entire bag of chips?
Mhm.
And my go-to was a whole bag of chips with dip and candy. And then I would have some trail mix so that I'd have some protein to go with it and maybe a thing of chocolate milk. And I would sit there and eat the whole thing.
Wow. Yeah. And I
And
think there's a lot of
I
people
can't remember the last time I did that.
And I think there's a lot of people that are watching right now who are overeaters that don't know why they're overeating. And I always say there's a thing under the thing. The thing is overeating, but there's a thing underneath the overeating. And that's exactly what Kim does. Kim gets to the source of the thing under the thing that's causing the overeating. And if we don't get to the source of why we're doing what we're doing, we keep repeating it and beating ourselves up, making ourselves wrong. But maybe even that is part of the reason why we do it, right? That I don't feel
Yeah.
good about myself. I'm going to beat myself up. What's one way? Overeating and then making ourselves wrong. I love what you're doing, Kim. I love that you are so deep with people to get to the source of it. And if you're watching right now and you're resonating with Kim's story, you're saying, that's me. I sit there, I go through the drive through, I get whatever, I binge, I overeat, and I don't know why, and I've tried everything. I highly encourage you to reach out to Kim because she's been there. She knows what you're going through, and she knows that the answers are easier to find than you think, despite if you've done everything already. Kim, I'm like so grateful that we had this opportunity, and I want to thank you for being so real. It's not easy to say, "Yeah, I couldn't get out of bed. They had to roll me over. I was over 300 pounds. I was living a life that wasn't mine to live." And your action, what you've overcome is just so incredible. And you helping
Can I
hundreds.
just say though, losing the weight didn't make everything beautiful and wonderful.
No.
And that's a lie that we tell ourselves. 4 years ago, I had cancer. 5 years ago, my ex-husband, my kid's dad died. Um, 4 years ago, I also left my husband and my marriage fell apart. I had a lot of bad things happen during that time. And I didn't eat because of any of it.
Wow.
And I was still able to lose weight, even though my life wasn't all together.
Wow. Okay, so you guys are here. I hope you're hearing this. If you're going through a divorce, if you have experienced death, if you've experienced life happening, and you still think that it's not possible to stop overeating when life is happening, Kim is here to tell you that is not true. It's a story you've been telling yourself. There's other ways to make yourself feel good, to feel loved, and you don't need to use food. So if you're looking for help and you're watching this video right now, it's not by coincidence. I told Kim before we got on this interview, I'm having deja vu. Like, I remember in a dream or something, I remember seeing the recording, everything was deja vu. It's like we've been here before. Um, don't um, dismiss those coincidences because they're not coincidences. They're divine. This interview
Mm,
was put on your
yeah.
path for you to take a new action. Kim, where can people find you if they're looking for you? Do you have a website or your Facebook page or where can people find you if they want?
You can find me at stopovereating.ca. You can find me on Facebook, Kim Kenny. Instagram, I'm not really on Instagram a whole lot, but Kim is losing 180 is my handle on Instagram, and Substack is Kim Kenny Stop Overeating.
Amazing. And if this doesn't resonate with you, but you know somebody who struggles with overeating, please share this video with them because you might actually be the one that saves their life. And I don't say that like I don't take that with a grain of salt. No, it's true because there are lives on the line right now. And you might be the catalyst to help them get the help that they need. So, Kim, thank you for what you do. Thank you for watching. If you know somebody and you're sharing, thank you for sharing. Teamwork makes the dream work, you guys. And our intention is just spread more love and light in the world and actually put you in front of people that can help you wherever you're at. So, thank you for being here. Thank you, Kim. And
Thank you.
I'll see you guys on the next interview. Bye.